Shalom Shir Allah. This is the war with Winnipeg GMS. I'd like to first off give all praises to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, double honors to apostles, and also for millstone, rule well, and much love to hopeful elect brothers, being circumspect, trimming your ways, cosmeo, preparing yourselves unto the coming day of the Lord, as we see through the exposure of America, which is the version out of Babylon. Alright, and these prophecies being executed and bringing forth and being manifest. Alright, we're almost at the end of this. Alright, so first off, I'd like to give all praise to Yahweh Shai, which I did already, but we can't do it enough. Much love to hopeful elect brothers out there, and double honors to apostles, our teachers who've taught us this doctrine, which is a life of instructions, man, and righteousness. So this video is going to U.S. Soldiers caught in a $12 million meth smuggling ring in South Korea. So these guys are version of Babylon is up to their old tricks. Alright, it says South Korean prosecutors allege that two troops stationed in the country smuggled 9 pounds worth of methamphetamines from California using the Army's postal service. It says 2 South Korean nationals have been detained. The law enforcement officer said the operation may also implicate 4 South Korean with family members living in the U.S., Stars and Stripes reported. So it says even the South Korean families alright, were involved. And you know it's all about money. You bribe these people. It's not about the drugs. It's about the money. Alright. It says this. It says one of the troops involved with the case has been indicted but not detained. I remember the word indicted. It doesn't mean nothing, man. Okay, when that police officer was indicted for killing Jake out there in Missouri, he got off scot-free. Okay, but not detained, while the other soldier had been imprisoned. South Korean attorneys said both are 19 years old and were part of the 2nd Infantry Division. They have denied the accusation that they violated the Narcotic Control Act. So this is America again, and this is witchcraft. Okay, you selling these drugs is a form of witchcraft. So I'll jump to the book of Nahum chapter 3 and 1 says, "Woe to the bloody city! It is full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not." So we are still in the land of our captivity. We're the prey. You Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, you're the prey. You've been robbed. That's the book of Isaiah. Isaiah chapter, let's see if I can find it real quick. This is Isaiah chapter, I believe it's 42. Isaiah 42. It says Isaiah chapter 42 and 22. It says, "But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all them snared in holes." So a hole is a trap. Alright, we're robbed and spoiled. How are we robbed? We are robbed of our nationality. We are people, you Negroes, Latinos, and American Indians, Latin tribes, and the Native American tribes are robbed of your land. This land, you used to rule this land, alright? You've been robbed. So how you were robbed? Through death, through massacre, through bloodshed, through biological warfare. B, you gotta pause that. I can't let's have that playing right now. Okay? Go upstairs for 5 minutes. Or 10 minutes, I'll call you back. It says, "Woe to the bloody city." And how did they get this country? Through bloodshed, through covetousness, man. Alright, the scriptures say that thou shalt not covet your neighbor's land or property, man. It says it is full of lies and robbery. How is it full of lies? America pushes that freedom, that liberty. But the people of America aren't even free. They're slaves. Alright, they're under surveillance every day. They're being recorded. Alright, they're being hacked. Their computers are being hacked. Alright, and you pay bills, and really America's everything in America is going down, man. The middle class is dwindling. There's a bigger gap between the rich and the poor. Okay, it says the prey departeth not, but we're still here, man. We have not departed. So I'll go back to Isaiah chapter 42 and 22. "But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes." Now it also goes in the prison systems, man. The prison system is a lucrative business. They've privatized the prison industrial complex, so that these private corporations could invest in laws, making it easy for Jakes to get arrested for petty crimes and go to jail for life. So while they're in jail, if you have a felony, and you're in prison, you can be pretty much you're pretty much a slave to this society, man. They actually got a law on that. Okay, and they are hid in prison houses. Who's filling the prisons? In Canada, the Native Americans and you Negroes. In America, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. They are for a prey, and none delivereth, for a spoil, and none saith restore. Okay, none saith restore. So they've not freed us. Jay could leave prison, and because of the system's ways of not giving you any chances of surviving or making it outside the prison complex, all these guys is like a 99% return rate unless he dies in the streets. Okay, it's jumping down to verse 34. It says, because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot. Okay, the whoredoms of America are innumerable. Okay, throughout the four corners of the world, they've gotten their witchcraft. They got McDonald's, they got GMOs, they got homosexuality pushed throughout the four corners of the world. All right, so that's a form of witchcraft, polluting the mind of people, man, seducing them. Because the multitude of the whoredom of the well-favored harlot, is not America well-favored? In fact, the Lord called America a golden cup, Babylon a golden cup. Okay, in the Lord's hand, which caused all nations to drink. Okay, we go throughout the four corners of the world and makes these nations drink of a pollution. It says the mistress of witchcraft. What is witchcraft? The word witchcraft is kashap, and the word kashap is sorcery, witchcraft, magic. Going back into the land of Chaldees, the Magi's. All right. It's a sorcery, witchcraft, and magic brings back to mind magic mushrooms, which it changes the brain, the chemicals in your brain, and makes you hallucinate, makes you see things, makes you feel high. And when people are high, they do a lot of jacked up stuff, man. You might find yourself performing some vile sexual act just to get drugs or while you're on drugs. All right. So they're pushing this wickedness in South Korea so they can seduce these people, man. So they want to be like Americans. They do anything for these drugs, and that's what they did to you, you Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians. They put drugs in your neighborhoods. Sorry for the rant, but this movie goes into it, man. And to Kill a Messenger, I believe, goes into it also, man. How the American government and the Federal Reserve, they're all involved in profiteering through drug sales, man. Okay. Now going back to the book of Nahum, it says, the mistress of witchcraft, the south nations through her whoredom, and families through her witchcraft. And that's how a lot of these nations. What was a family? Didn't it just say a Korean family was involved? Four Korean families were involved in this, right? So it says, behold, I'm against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will discover thy whoredom. Okay, Slakia. And I will discover thy skirt upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. And this is what's going on. Okay, America is being exposed. Verse 6, and I will cast a balm of filth upon thee, and make thee vile, and set thee as a gazing stock. These nations look at you and say, you know what, America's messed up. They portray themselves as being a clean, proper, Puritans, holy people, alright, children of God, but they're vile, man. Okay, it's pretty much a pile of shit that got painted gold. Alright? That's pretty much what America is. It's just a pile of shit, man. Verse 7, and it shall come to pass that all they that look upon thee shall flee from thee, because they realize America's rank. It's disgusting. It's rotten. The rotten apple. And say, Nineveh is laid waste. Who will bemoan her? Whom shall I seek comfort for thee? And America is a spiritual Nineveh, man. Nineveh was a very affluent city in the ancient times. All right, America is a trade capital, man. It's Nineveh, it's Sodom and Gomorrah, it's Babylon, it's Egypt. It's all these spiritual, ancient cities, okay, or an ancient mindset, okay, a spiritual mindset put into one. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 47. One is good, all the way down to 12. It says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon." The reason why he says sit in the dust, because America is looked on as high right now. America is greatly respected. Okay, they're the poster child of all things that are good. Okay, so he says, come down. So come down from your heavenly status, your heavenly state, from cloud 9, and sit in the dust of confusion. O virgin daughter of Babylon. Why it says virgin daughter? Because no foreign military has ever come to America and started a war with her, man. She hasn't been touched. Her land has not been touched by bombs and a big destruction, all right? The only war that's been over here in America was only through their own people, man. All right, through the British, the British War of 1812 or so on and so forth. Just Edomites fighting Edomites, man. Verse 2, it says, it says, O daughter of Chaldees, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. America is looked at as tender and delicate. It's described as a woman. All right, a woman is not a woman supposed to be tender and delicate, but America is really a hoe. All right, she's filthy. All right, there's no standards, no morals here. All right, everybody's got a mental illness. All right, everybody's sick. Okay, Isaiah 47:2, take the millstone. So from your high state, you're coming to a low state. You see how America is right now. They're just putting on fumes right now, man. All these companies and industries are shutting down. All right, people are out of work. Unemployment is high. People are working part-time and trying to work multiple jobs just to keep food on the table or keep themselves from living on the streets. The 10 cities are growing. The infrastructure is at a grade D. Education is dwindling. These schools are shutting down. Malls are shutting down. Okay? It says, take the millstone and grind meal, uncover the locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thighs, pass over the river. It says, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen, and I will take vengeance. I will not meet thee as a man. That's Yahushua. He's coming back as a force. Okay? He's coming back as a force, and he's not going to hold sword in his hand, man. Okay? Just like the movie, the X-Men movie, Apocalypse. Okay? So their shame is being seen. America's nakedness. Let's look up what the word nakedness in the Hebrew. See that? Irawa. It says nakedness, nudity, shame, potenda. Okay, implying shameful exposure. So this is a shame. Here does the American military is supposed to what? Supposedly they're supposed to be protecting people, man. Not furthering on the corruption of society, man. Isn't it in the movie The Godfather, he said that selling drugs was an infamia, all right? Which is wicked. You're destroying, if they sell to their own people, America did that too anyways. But he used the word infamia, all right? Brothers could look that up. It says, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen, and I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. So the Lord, he never went to Babylon. He never destroyed Babylon, and he didn't meet Babylon as a man. He wasn't even in Babylon. And Babylon was destroyed via the Medo-Persians, all right, and they took them captive, all right. It says, as for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. That's Yahushua, all right, the Holy One of Israel. It says, sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, all right, because America, they pride themselves on the elites pride themselves on their power on the left-hand side, okay, in sorcery. America was set up in 1776, and it so happens that 1776 was the year that the Illuminati, okay, became a a power. Okay, the Illuminati, they're heavily involved in witchcraft. So this is witchcraft that's been ever since America's nativity, man. It says, sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldees, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. The reason why it says the Lady of Kingdoms, America is spread throughout the four corners as garrisons, man. It says, I was wroth with my people and I have polluted mine inheritance. And why? Because we are in this land. We've been polluted with the heathen. For what? For punishment. Okay, our people, but the elect are purifying themselves through the word. And gave them into thine hands. Thou didst show them no mercy upon the ancient, as thou heavily laid thy yoke. You see the picture of the Jacob that got whipped on his back and looks like a map. Verse 7, and thou saidst, I shall be a lady forever. So thou didst not lay these things to thine heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. Okay, I'll jump to the book of Exodus. It's Exodus, the 22nd chapter. Okay, because America is personified as a witch. This is a judgment for a witch. It's Deuteronomy chapter 22 and 18. It says, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. That's why America is going to be destroyed. It says, verse 47 and 6. Jump to 7. And thou saidst, I shall be a lady forever. So thou didst not lay these things to thine heart. A lady, they said that they covered fields and nameth lands after their own names. That's how proud these people are, man. And they got plans up until 2050, man. Alright? They're very proud. So thou didst not lay these things to thine heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. Because the Lord will recompense you for your wicked deeds, man. It says, therefore hear now this, thou that art given to pleasure, that dwellest carelessly. Because while wars being the sabers are rattling, the Russian government are getting his people prepared for a nuclear attack. He had them perform a huge exercise with millions of people, just in case of a nuclear attack. They got their masks, they got into some bunkers. While all hell's breaking loose, or beginning to, this is the beginning of the storms always start with silence. Right now they're getting ready, but Americans are worried about the next album coming out, the next new trend, or the new dance coming out, or twerking, or something crazy. Okay? It says, and saidst in thy heart, I am, and none else. That's so comfortable. They don't fear, man. Americans don't fear. Okay? None else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. So America is going to get what it's been due. Okay? But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in the perfection for the multitude of thy sorcery and for great abundance of thy enchantments. Because Americans, they pride themselves in their witchcraft. You see what happened when Trump got voted or inaugurated. I believe he had a bunch of these witches try to put curses on him, and they weren't ashamed of their wickedness, man. You know, that's shameful. You don't want to see that madness. And these people actually believe in that. That shows you that they're really children of Satan, man. It says, for thou wast trusted in thy wickedness, thou wast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee, and thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. So it says, they say, none seeth me. Now everyone's seeing their shame. They see that they're selling drugs, they're smuggling drugs into South Korea. It says, therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee, thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee, since which thou shalt not know. It says, this will end off at the verse of 13. It says, stand now in thine enchantments and the multitude of thy sorcery, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. Now that goes back into the what's his name, Adam Weishaupt and the Illuminati. That was all about witchcraft and mind control and New World Order. Okay, if so be thou shalt be able to profit. So this is the thing, man. They've been profiting off of drugs, all right, drug sales, war profiteering, all right. and all other, they do it with the pharmaceutical industry, man. They do it with abortions. All right, lots of money involved in these medical industry, man, which is pharmakia, which pharmakia really goes into witchcraft. All right. It says, "Thou art weary in the multitude of thy counsel. Let now the astronomers and the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators, stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee." Now the Lord's going to tell these demons, demons, yo, get on my left side, man. No more communicating with these Edomites, man. Their time's up. Okay, their contract is up. All right, Satan's contract is going to be his demons. Their contract is going to be up on helping out or giving instructions to Esau. Now Esau is going to be stuck. All right, they're going to be stuck, man. And then the Lord's going to rain fire upon these devils. All right. Let me stop at 14. It says, "Behold, they shall be stubble, and fire shall burn them." And that's that nuclear weapon, man. That ICBM missile, that bow of steel. Okay. "They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame." That's nuclear fire. Isaiah the 54th chapter, the 18th verse. "There shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before it." So this is it, man. This is the exposure of America, of the so-called white, these Edomites, all right, so-called white people, all right, and their wickedness, all right. Their time's up. So I'll give all praises to the Most High Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, because he's the one that's doing the exposing. All right, double honors to apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and much love to hope for like brothers pushing the truth to the four corners in sincerity. Shalom.